Hi, so this is a quick mobility video. You can do this any time of day, morning, noon, night, lunch break, whenever it strikes your fancy. The only thing you're going to need is a mat and maybe a block or something like that if you know that you like to use a little bit of props to bring the ground up to you. So you're going to go ahead and start on your hands and knees here. Your shoulders are right over your hands, your hips right over your knees. You're going to start by doing some cat-cows. So to do this, you'll begin by inhaling through your nose, looking up, arching your back, tilting your pelvis forward. And then you'll exhale, curl under, round your back, tilt your pelvis the other way. And again, inhale, looking up, and exhale, and round. You want to make sure that you're doing this at your own pace and your own time. And as you round, I want you to make sure that you're tilting your pelvis, that you're tucking your pelvis underneath you as you round your back. And that when you look up, that you are tipping your pelvis forward. Getting comfortable with that motion, not just in your back, but in your whole body. Next, inhale, come to a flat back, and then you're going to take your right hand, you're going to put it up toward the ceiling. If you don't get all the way toward the ceiling, or maybe a little bit more here, that's totally fine. On your exhale, you're going to thread the needle underneath, put your right arm on the ground, press your right shoulder into the ground. A little bit of a twist, making sure that you're breathing. Then on your next inhale, pick it back up. And exhale, curl it under. And inhale, arm up. And exhale, arm goes out in front of you. Now here you're trying to keep your spine as neutral as possible. You're going to be extending your left leg or your opposite leg out behind you. Now you're trying to get as long as you can, keeping your spine flat. So if it's too difficult, if you start dumping into your low back here, keep your foot closer to the ground. Because the goal here is to keep our pelvis stable. We're going to hold this for a few more seconds. And then we're going to put our hand down and our leg down. So same thing, other side. Left hand up toward the ceiling. And exhale, thread the needle. Left arm comes down. Left shoulder to the ground. Inhale, you're reaching up. And exhale, reaching down. And inhale, reaching up. And then left arm comes out in front of you. Get your balance here, get situated. And then bring your right leg behind you. Maybe lifting it up, maybe leaving your toes on the ground. As you do this, you're keeping your spine neutral, and to help you do that, you're going to keep your belly braced. So imagining somebody's going to come up and poke you in the stomach, and you don't want them to poke you in the stomach, so you're going to stay ready for it. You're going to be braced. Nice, and then you can go ahead and release the hand, release the foot. Go back into a child's pose, bring your hips onto your heels. And then inhale, rise up onto your fingertips, look forward, bring your shoulders away from your ears, and relax. Again, lift up, looking forward, shoulders away from your ears. Look down. And last time, inhale onto your fingertips, looking forward, shoulders away from your ears. And then you're going to come back into a quadruped position. The next thing we're going to do is some hip circles. So keeping your spine flat and your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. You're going to pick up your right knee and start making little circles. Now these don't have to be big. They're just going to be in the range of motion that you find comfortable. Notice if there's any spots that feel sticky. and you don't need to back off from them super far, but just give them a little bit of distance if you need to. Then let's go ahead and switch directions. As you do this, notice that my spine is staying very stable. This movement is at the hip joint itself, not getting into my back here. Last rotation, and knee down. So same thing on the other side. Pick up your other knee. Start drawing some circles. There might be a little bit of a difference from one side to the other. That's fine. Just notice it. Make your circles as fast or as slow as you want. Now go in the other direction. And put your knee down on the ground. Now the last thing we're going to do, we're going to take our hands and interlace our fingers at the base of our spine. And then we're going to press our palms together, pulling our shoulders away from our ears, maybe lifting the hands away from the pelvis, but I want to see some rolling open of the chest more than I need height in your hands. You might look up at the ceiling if that's comfortable for you. Making sure that you're breathing. Nice, slow breaths. And then go ahead and release your hands back down to your pelvis. Put your hands on your knees. Maybe roll out your spine a little bit. Try that cat-cow a couple more times, except now you're seated. Arching your back, rounding your spine. Arching your back, rounding your spine. And go ahead and come back to a seated position. Roll your head a few times if needed. Switch, go the other way. And we'll shake it off, and then you're done.